Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gurureva Gatir Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Gurav Paramam Shishurasmi Guror Matirasti Gurav Mama Pahi Guru Shri Guru Charanarvinda Bhyan Namaha. The shloka I am going to take is from Madhaviya Shankara Vijayam. This is written by the 14th Acharya of Sringeri, Shri Vidyaranya, who is also called Madhavacharya. So that's why it's called the Madhaviya Shankara Vijayam. Though apparently there were earlier Shankara Vijayams, the history of Shankara, the story of Shankara written, unfortunately all of them are lost. The earliest we have is from sage Vidyaranya, only in the 13th, 14th century, which is already 700 years after he lived. It's a beautiful shloka. Ajñānāntargahanapatitān ātmavidyōpadēśaiḥ trātum lōkān bhavadavaśikhā tāpapāpacyamānān muktvā maunaṃ vaṭaviṭapinō mūlatō niṣpatantī śaṃbhōrmūrtiḥ carati bhuvanē Shankaracharya So this shloka can be interpreted in various ways. So I'd like to at least look at two different angles today. And before even that, I'm going to just give you the word-to-word meaning of this. It's so beautiful. And it is important to understand the word-to-word meaning to get the gist. So, ajñāna, that's the first word, ignorance. Basically means ajñāna. We don't know what is happening. Antaha, inside. Gahana. Gahana is forest, dense forest. So, here the metaphor is ajñāna is a gahana. He's comparing our ignorance to a dense forest. Antaha should go with the next word patitān. Patitān is falling into. Antah patitān, falling into. What has happened? We have all fallen into ignorance. The forest of ignorance. Ajñāna gahana antah patitān. That's how we have to take the meaning. We having fallen into the dense forest of ignorance, ajñāna. That is the first part. Lōkān. We are talking about the lōkān from the second line. Lōkān basically means we, the people. And in this shloka, there is another metaphor which is being given for us. Bhavadavaśikhā. Bhava means samsara, the world. Dava means fire. Shikha, shikhana, the head of it, the top of it. So davaśikhā basically means flame. So again here, why did they say davaśikhā, the flame? Because it is not just a simmering fire, but it is a fire which is flaming, which is enflamed, which is really a big fire. The samsara here is compared to the davaśikhā, a flame, forest fire. Again, come back to that concept of forest. Ajñāna gahana. Go back to that. So you are in a forest where you are trapped and around you is the forest fire. Bhavadavaśikhā. The next thing is also beautiful. Tāpapāpacyamānān. Tāpa is the heat. What is the heat that is generated by the fire? That is papa. Papa is the sin. The sin becomes the metaphor for the heat. And because of this heat, which is the sin, cyamānān, scorched. You are being scorched. You are being enflamed. You are being burnt up. So the samsara, bhavadavaśikhā, is burning you. So this is the metaphor where you are inside the forest of ajñāna and being surrounded by the samsara fire. So from this, somebody is coming and trātum, saving you, helping you. Lōkān trātum. How is he doing it? He is doing it by ātmavidyōpadēśaiḥ. By doing upadesha, advice. I'm going to come to that in a minute. So, ātmavidyōpadēśaiḥ, by giving advice, by giving blessings on the Atmavidya, the knowledge of the souls, by giving the knowledge. So jnanagni sarvadhar karmanam. So so jnana in Bhagavad Gita is considered as an agni which removes the papa, which is considered as a knife which cuts through your karma. So from that Atma Vidya, Upadesha. Upadesha is such a beautiful word. We can translate in English to advise or whatever it is, but it's not the right word. Because Dishati, he gives you the direction. So that is why that Desha is there. That Upa means he's embracing you. He's getting closer to you and giving the Upadesha. So that is why, see, Upanishad, getting closer to God. So Upadesha is also in the same sense. It is not just advice or consultation, but it is Upadesha is he gives you the direction. By giving the Upadesha, trātum, he is saving you from this ajñāna gahana bhavadavaśikhā. So that is the concept here. Who is doing it? So that comes to the next part of the shloka. śaṃbhōrmūrtiḥ. The Shiva himself is doing it. The very primordial God Shiva himself is doing the trātum, the what do you call, helping or saving you. Okay, how does he do? So that is such a beautifully two different words, two different lines. We are going to go through it one by one. Muktvā maunaṃ. Maunaṃ, silence. Muktvā, just giving up maunaṃ. He gave up his silence. Who gave up his silence? We'll see in a second. vaṭaviṭapinō mūlatō. Vaṭaviṭapinā is the banyan tree, alamaram. So from that vaṭaviṭapinā, from the alamaram, mūlatō, from the roots of it, from the bottom of it, whatever. niṣpatantī, he moves away. Moving away from the roots of the banyan tree and giving up maunaṃ, giving up silence. śaṃbhōrmūrtiḥ, Shiva. What does he do? Carati bhuvanē. He goes around this world. Shankarācharya in the name of Shankaracharya. So again, this is very interesting. So Shambhu, the primordial God, is the source of knowledge. We say Narayanam, Padmabhuvam, Vasishtam, Shaktim, Chedat, Putra, Parasharancha. So that is the Kuru Parampara, starting from Narayana, Parameshwara, it comes all the way. But suddenly what happened at some point of time, people got the Sanaka, Sanandana, they all started having confusion. When they started having confusion, that primordial self, that primordial God, came down as Dakshinamurti. How did he do? Chitram Vadatar Mule, Vruddha Shishyaha Gurur Yuva, Gurostu maunaṃ Vyakhyanam, Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha. So the guy came, he did absolutely nothing. He sat, very important. He just sat under the banyan tree. And what did he say? He said nothing, silence. So that silence and just sitting there was enough in that Krita Yuga, in that Yuga. But right now, that Shiva decided, oh, if I sit there and say nothing, people can't understand anything. So I am going to start walking. So he walked through the whole continent, subcontinent, multiple times. So carati bhuvanē, he moved around. He did not just sit like what Dakshinamurti did. He just moved around. Dakshinamurti was just doing the maunaṃ, but he did not do the maunaṃ. He preached. He gave hymns. He gave so many hymns which we all heard today. He gave a very clear concept of Advaita. So śaṃbhōrmūrtiḥ, he had his incarnation as Dakshinamurti in the Krita Yuga when Mauna was sufficient to teach, when just sitting down is sufficient to propagate the religion, the doctrines. Whereas in the Kali Yuga right now, that's not enough. You have to move. You have to say. And what happened? Shambhu reincarnated. Shiva reincarnated himself as Shankaracharya So, to save us from the ajñānāntargahanapatitān, bhavadavaśikhā tāpapāpacyamānān. We are those people, lōkān, trātum, those people to help them. ātmavidyōpadēśaiḥ, the tool is the jnana, the advaita. The advaita becomes the tool for saving these people. The Shiva who became Dakshinamurti in the Krita Yuga and propagated this through maunaṃ and being under the banyan tree, now walks the world teaching and propagating as śaṃbhōrmūrtiḥ. So I'm just going to give the shloka once more. ajñānāntargahanapatitān ātmavidyōpadēśaiḥ trātum lōkān bhavadavaśikhā tāpapāpacyamānān muktvā maunaṃ vaṭaviṭapinō mūlatō niṣpatantī śaṃbhōrmūrtiḥ carati bhuvanē Shankaracharya So this is a first angle, but there are multiple angles. So that when you look at the history, that is another beautiful angle we can interpret the shlokam. And I'm not going to bore you on that today. If we get a chance to meet some other time, I can, because there is so much, there is history, there is politics, there's so many, how the kings interacted with it. It's so good. And everything is encapsulated in this shloka. Because again, you have to understand, this is a shloka just not praising Shankaracharya, but it is in the history of Shankaracharya, in Shankara Vijayam. So he basically even encapsulates all what is going on in that period of time into this shloka. But that's a different take. Anyway, thank you again for giving me this opportunity. Namaste, Swami.
Before we do Arti, I would like to thank you, Srinivasan. When I requested you and you said, which one shall I talk? And you gave me an option, I picked this one. Because of the last two sentences, as you know, I wrote to you that way.
Definitely.
As far as I'm concerned, Shankara was not just a philosopher, but much more than that. That's how we feel about Shankaracharya.
I just wanted to add
you
one.
to talk about this, even though I know you could have given a lecture on Nirvanastakam. So thank you very much.
I just wanted to mention one thing, Uncle. Again, once you say, I did not cover the historical aspect of it.
I know, it's okay.
No, but the main important thing is he's a great social reformer, and the Hinduism today will not have this shape had Shankara's contribution, Shankara not contributed. Shankara is by far the key figure why we have Hinduism as we have it